Jamie, this is turning into a conspiracy of grand nature. How did 6 automakers independently arrive at a scheme to cheat diesel emissions, and why would they?
Yeah, I don't know that there's any real connection between all these other than they made cars that consume diesel. And this firm is very aggressively going after them, kind of, on the belief that they are all cheating, that the rules were very hard and the fuel is inherently dirty, and so they must have cheated. There have been, as you said, 6 automakers accused of this, right? The only one that the regulators have followed up on yet, post Volkswagen, was Fiat Chrysler, right? And they, notified them in January that they had some unauthorized software. They brought a suit this week, so there's been some progress on that one. The others, there was a suit against GM on their smaller cars. Part of that was thrown out, but part of it's proceeding. So we'll have to see how it actually plays out.
But Jamie, we're becoming inured. When Volkswagen, when that news broke, it was shocking. The idea that a car maker would intentionally cheat, if that were to be the case, and we gave Volkswagen every benefit of the doubt. Now it's looking like more and more car makers were doing this, and it's a really troubling thing for corporate America.
Yeah, if it does bear out. With Volkswagen, they did have pretty deliberate, they had confessed, right? And they had very deliberate software to recognize when it was being tested and then to bypass those emissions. And we've not really seen that. Even the Fiat Chrysler, it isn't clear that any of those, if it's any unauthorized software, right, then the regulators can consider it a defeat device. It's there and it's not supposed to be. But yes, the preponderance of these claims, of these lawsuits, and having to, prove them out is going to be problematic, and it just makes it really less appealing to be in the diesel business going forward under any circumstances.
Problematic and costly, Jamie. It's been costly so far for VW, and that hasn't even run its course yet. I mean, do we dare even try and put a figure how, when this is over, how costly this could be for the auto industry?
Yeah, to put it all together, it's a little soon on that. The estimates on Fiat Chrysler are maybe, $2 billion, kind of is sort of the high end of what's estimated, although the fines, if it's, fully prosecuted, could go higher than that. It could be more costly than that. VW, yeah, has estimated, $24.5 billion, I think, is the latest total. Assuming that's all can be captured, can capture all the things that are still hanging out there. They've got a few cases left. The others, they haven't yet had any major costs or any big things, but we'll see how they wind through the legal system.
The credibility of clean diesel technology certainly has been damaged, Jamie. Beyond redemption or not?
Very challenging. It will. There's going to have to be a breakthrough to really make diesel competitive again and to be able to brand it in a clean way. We did find one of the thing about VW was they seemed to have this performance that was so unbelievably better than everyone else's, and it turned out it was unbelievably better because it couldn't be believed. So the others all seem to have had the systems in place. Now, whether they did some things wrong, there will be plenty of fact-finding and to explore that. But yeah, the brand of diesel and the idea of clean diesel against electric or hybrid cars or other ways, or just making more fuel-efficient gasoline-burning cars, it just is really a losing proposition.